Thank you, President. Thank you. Mr. Prime Minister, Madam President, two of my very good friends here in Kosovo, it's always my pleasure to see you. It's always my pleasure to share the platform, especially on an event such as this. I also, of course, appreciate so many dignitaries are here from the government, from the parliament, from the diplomatic corps, but more important for me is the rest of you whose names or titles were not described in the introductions of others. Today is in memory of what happened 26 years ago today in this, what was then a very remote and unheard of village named Reçakun. And I must say, when I came back from Montenegro the previous night and was told something had happened in a village called Reçakun, you know, I had to ask, where was it, what was it, and what had happened. I was then, almost by chance, to make the trip to Reçakun the following morning and see what I saw, and that afternoon tell local journalists and the few people who wanted to hear my words just what I had seen, and then what I interpret as had been the cause of that and who had been responsible. That was not a hard speech to make. It was obvious from what I had seen that morning that 45 innocent civilians had been gunned down, had been taken away from the village, men and boys, under the armed escort of Serbian police and Serbian army, and turned up the next day, slaughtered. It was very evident what had happened to them, and that was the truth to everyone who was with me on that morning. And I just simply told the world that afternoon what I had seen and who I thought was responsible. That was 26 years ago. 25 years ago, I came before a similar crowd here in this auditorium. I saw the villagers of Reçakun, and not knowing quite what to say, not quite able to capture what I should have been saying about the grief in that village, I said, 25 years ago today, I said, I'm going to write a book about this, and the title is going to be Reçakun. I apologize. I really am ashamed to say that that book has just come out today, 25 years later. But I'm very glad it is coming out. I'm very glad that the Prime Minister and the President have both told me it will be of value in terms of the youth of this country, the people of this country, hearing my description of what and why I participated in those events 26 years ago. To me, today, and I've come here to every memorial service I could, I think maybe I have attended 12 or 13 of these memorial services. I've usually come to say what I think everybody should say, is reminding people of what happened here on the 15th of January, 1998. But every year I come here, I also want to say Reçakun not only represents that terrible past, when the Serbs did to the Albanians and other communities the horrible, horrible things they did to them, with Reçakun not being the only one by any means, not being the only massacre. But now I come with the growing feeling that for me, Reçakun represents something very bright, which is the future of this Republic of Kosovo. This country, in just such a short time, the people of this country have taken what Reçakun and so many other things represent and turned this into a really wonderful, wonderful country. And the village of Reçakun is a very good example of it. We just visited a family, and it is not the Reçakun of 26 years ago. And Kosovo is not the Kosovo of 26 years ago. This is today a wonderful, thriving, prosperous, incredibly democratic country of which I am incredibly proud to have been a part of. As you all can see, I'm not the William Walker who stood up here 25 years ago, 26 years ago. I am an old man. I will be, in a couple of months, celebrating my 90th birthday. And thank you. So I'm not too sure how many more times I will be before an audience such as this. Yesterday, the president, and a week or so, the prime minister asked me if I would ever think of being a citizen of Kosovo. As you can imagine, my answer to that question would be, whoopee, yes, of course. With that in mind, I've got a feeling that the next time you see me before you in Reçakun, I could be in a box, and I would be proud to be buried here in the village of Reçakun. Notwithstanding that, I hope to see all of you again next year as we celebrate or commemorate what happened in Reçakun 26 years ago, and also what Reçakun has become today, January 15th, 2025. Thank you very much.